Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is M2Degrades or M2M Plays, and welcome to another tutorial video that I decided to make. So I'm making this tutorial video because some people, when they start off learning this game, kind of have trouble with this fight, and I want to show you guys a somewhat consistent way that I find to be pretty reliable on how to fight the Moblin King in one single cycle. So, first off, normally when you're fighting the Moblin King, your first instinct is usually to just keep on hitting him, right? But then he gets up, and then you have to wait for him to charge into the wall again. And the more times you let him get up and have him throw spears at you and wait for him to charge into the wall, that's really slow. And we call that a cycle. Earlier right there, that was like a 2 cycle if you were to fight him normally. But there is actually a way where you can actually beat the Moblin King in just one single cycle without letting him get up a single time. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it one time, and then I will show you guys how to do it. Alright, so that is the one cycle Moblin King fight. It looks really simple because it's just precisely timing your hits as opposed to just slashing him normally. But the timing for the slashes is actually like really precise for the fight. I've asked a few people about how they do it, and there's a few different ways you can go about with this. You can just know the timing, and that's fine. You know, it's really simple. Other people, there's a particular song, I don't really know off the top of my head what it is, but someone has told me about it, about what they do is they listen to the song in their head and listen to the rhythm of that music in order to know the rhythm of the slashes. However, my way is a little bit unusual, and I want to show you guys how I do it, and maybe it can help some people out. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this off here. Okay, so I am on my phone now, and what I use in order to consistently one cycle the Moblin King is I use an app known as Sound Corset Tuner and Metronome. The app looks like this. You can actually download this really easily if you go onto the Play Store and type in Metronome, and that's how I found this. And this would be it right here. And so when you go onto the app and you finish installing it, what I do here is when you open it up, it's not going to look exactly like this, but you just kind of have to mess around with it a little bit. On default, it's probably going to be like right around 100, right? So what you want to do is you want to slide it up to 140 BPM. And I slash every other beat, and then this is the volume right here, where if you want to adjust the volume, you want it loud enough so that you can hear it. As soon as you hit the play button right here on this green box, then it's going to sound something along the lines like this. So I'm listening to the sound during the Moblin King fight, and once you set the metronome to 140 BPM, what you want to do is while you're listening to the metronome, you want to slash every other beat, not every beat. As soon as I enter the fight, that's when I turn on the metronome. It doesn't have to be like exactly precise timing, because basically you can take your time on the fight as long as you get the rhythm correct. Because basically, the timing for when you get your first hit in is not exactly super strict as long as you can rhythmatically slash after your first slash. So, as soon as I enter the fight, I will turn on my metronome, and it's going to look like this. So, I'm listening to my metronome. If you ever watch me on streams, and you're watching me do this fight, you'll probably notice that you can't see it on the video, but if I'm streaming, then you'll know that I'm focusing on trying to listen to the metronome. So it's gonna look something along the lines like this. And then after I beat the Moblin King, I just turn my metronome off because I don't need the metronome app anymore past that. And this is the only point in the game where you need to have such precise rhythm during any part of the game. This is most beneficial in particularly glitchless any percent. In 100%, you also fight Moblin King, but in the current route of 100%, you'd be really powerful coming into the Moblin King just due to how the route works in that category. So it's a lot easier to one-cycle the Moblin King without having to do precise slashes. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this one more time, and hopefully by this method, this can help some newer players out and get consistent one-cycle Moblin Kings. Okay, so that is the one-cycle Moblin King fight. Once you get enough practice on the fight, then you probably might not need the metronome anymore, but in all my runs I usually have it because it's really helpful for me. Even when you know the rhythm, you still could just be off rhythm by just ever so slightly, which can be enough to mess up the Moblin King fight. So with that, I hope you learned something from this, and hopefully this helps many people in their Moblin King fights in future attempts.